Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Fast Times LeBeau Racing Podcast. I'm your host, Joe Smith, and today I have Dylan LeBeau, Mark Bell, and Rick Harris. Hello, everybody.
We also have a live audience today.
Capacity crowd.
Yeah, not too bad. Hey, everybody's got to start somewhere, right?
That's right.
That's right.
All right. So, our last podcast was actually back in January, so that was kind of like a review of the past year. This past weekend was actually your first race?
2 1/4.
2 1/4?
2 and less than a quarter. I made one lap speed weeks.
Yeah.
Well, not even one lap.
Yeah. So officially, we
Second
kicked the
race.
season off.
Yes.
Yeah. And we were in Rick Harris's car this time, the 88.
Looked good.
Beefy
Looks-
2.0.
Yeah. The debut of Beefy 2.0 didn't go to plan. We had some part failures, which when you're worried about the body, that happens. Kind of. I don't know if stuff got overlooked or if we just missed it or what the deal was, but we were putting a body on it. Went out to drive it, and it didn't handle the greatest and had some issues after that, but luckily didn't tear the body up. Was able to get it back for the season opener, and that was this past weekend.
Yeah. So, Rick, go ahead and, from a owner's point of view.
No, Lord. We went out and tested Friday. Turned about 12 laps is all or something. And we was comfortable with the car. We wasn't setting the world on fire or anything. Then we went out Saturday and seemed like we was right back to square one. Thing was tight. And we actually looked like in the heat race. But then we got some good advice and made some radical changes to it and almost got it into the sweet spot.
Nice.
Yeah.
They used a new word on me that I haven't heard since I've been a car owner. It started with an L, and I can't remember. Loose. Yeah,
For
that
the
was
first
the word.
time we were able to
First time I'd ever heard that word since that car had been on track.
Yeah, first time we were able to get this car to turn and almost had it turning too much.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, still after a couple of things played out, we were a top 6, top 5 car.
Yeah, I'd say top 5 car.
I think we could have finished in the top 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
And we didn't put new tires on it
yeah.
because the way we'd been running, we didn't feel like it was worth the money. We put the best set we had on it. Went out there and done very respectable.
So, I wasn't there during practice, but let's talk about the heat. So, how did you do there?
Started 3rd, wheeled it to last. Was pretty impressive, I think. Yeah, just wasn't just tight. Every time I went to the corner, car washed up. And, yeah, it's hard to do when you're momentum racing, having a tight race car. And so got hung out on the outside, which didn't help our case, and every single car passed us. So that's about how the heat race went. Yeah.
Well, then I know you guys brought it back in, obviously, and then you and your dad started doing a little bit more work to it.
Yeah, changed like Rick said, just about everything, and finally got her. We got some really good information from some good people.
Yes.
We're gonna go back and reset the car up to this information. We kind of just threw, I wouldn't say crutches at it, but we didn't have level ground. We didn't put it on scales.
You did what you could.
Yeah,
at
we did
the
what we
track.
could at the track and got it a lot better. I think we picked up 0.7 of a second is what I heard.
Yeah,
Close to that.
about
Yeah.
that, yeah, because you were
You don't need to say it on air. That's okay. You
You-
don't need to say what I was running. It's all right.
No, you were running a lot better
Yeah.
than you were in the heat race,
Yeah,
for sure.
yes,
I mean,
yeah.
there were several changes done to the car
Yeah.
on all 4 corners,
Yeah, and there
for
were
sure.
2 separate teams that came over and offered advice and
Yep.
some hints and stuff. Devendorf's and another team come over, and that's our competition.
Yeah.
But those good people come over,
But
gave
the-
us some suggestions on what to do.
The
And
good competition wants to race with good
Yeah.
competition,
Yeah.
though. So, I
Yeah,
mean,
so I'm sure
it
very-
makes them better.
Yeah.
I appreciate them coming over because I said I'm no technologist, so I don't know anything about it. I just sit there and tighten lug nuts. So. But all the changes we made, then after the night was over and talking to some of the people, we almost got it to where they suggested it should be.
Yeah.
It just took us 3 races to get it there, but we finally got it.
Yeah. Yeah, Rick pretty much hit it on the head there. Just didn't finish how we wanted to. Like we were running sixth or fifth, and there was a caution. And on the restart, the gentleman in front of me missed a shift. I started slowing down, and the gentleman behind me did not slow down. Got turned around, and he hit us. Got back into the left front again, and cut the tire down. And I thought our night was done because I looked and seen the tire full lock to the right. And eventually when the record driver got it picked up, I was able to turn it with my hands and seen that both wheels were turning together, which that's usually how you want a race car to do that.
Yeah.
And was able to get it back in, get a tire back on it. Got lapped, but then the caution came right back out, and so put us back on the lead lap, which we were running on the lead lap the whole night. Someone, I guess, thought we weren't, but we were on the lead lap. So
No, I think during that whole episode, I think Mark was the one changing that tire.
yeah,
Yeah. Rick, I think you took it off.
I
and
took the
Yeah,
left
there's-
loose.
I dove in there just to make sure that there was nothing broken in the
Yeah.
front suspension. I grabbed a hold of everything.
well, the first thing Mark seen was his wheel was bent up because
Another.
we were
another wheel was
borrowing
bent up.
Mark's wheel, which normally we put it on the right side, and I end up knocking it off. So we thought, let's put it on the left side.
Do you remember that conversation?
Yeah, I'm
Hey,
the one
Mark,
that said
this,
it. Yeah,
This wheel is safe tonight. It's on the left side
yeah,
of the car.
it was not safe. The wheel got tacoed. So
That's all
we
right.
now owe Mark 2 wheels. So good thing Rick Harris has got a big budget.
Oh, yeah.
Well, and during all that chaos, what really cracked me up is as Mark's dealing with the wheel, he looks up at you and says, "Isn't this my wheel?"
Yeah,
But we still got it changed.
got it changed. Got back out there. Yeah.
Finished on the lead lap, so
The racing gods was looking out for us.
Yes, yeah, that was because like they were changing the tire, and I was saying, "Oh, it's one to go, don't worry about it." And they're like, "No, go!" So they got it changed and had to do a big 360 in the pits or 180. Sorry, I'm not that good at math. And they came by me, and then the caution came right out, and so I was able to get our lap back. And
But it was that way in every group at race.
Yeah.
Street stocks, everybody just.
Yeah.
I looked up twice. There had to be a full moon, and it
Yeah.
wasn't there. But it just seemed like everybody was pumped up for the first points race
There-
and
yeah.
driving above their head or what it was. But
There was a lot of people that were upset about at the drivers' meeting. They came through and said about the starts
yes,
and
there's
restarts.
that is something we need to forgot about that. Yeah,
You know, last year it was the green flag starts the race on the initial start. After that, leader fires in the box. Well, this year, first race out, they said flagman starts the race each and every time. The unfortunate part was I don't know who the flagman was, so I'm not taking jabs at him, but it seemed like it was inconsistent.
yeah.
Sometimes it would start in the box, sometimes it would start out of the box, sometimes it was almost to the flag stand before the green flag came out, and I think that's what caused a lot of guys to get a little antsy and jumpy. Some
Sure.
people were jumping
Yeah.
the start. That was where some of your accordion effect came from, and will they get it worked out? I'm sure they will. They'll go back and look at it, or they'll take some of the feedback from some of the people, but that seemed to be the biggest problem with all of the green flag and then caution flag, because
Yeah.
a lot of guys were really confused on where do we start, because they're so used to firing in the box.
Right.
And a lot of times it is hard to see the flagman. Like in the Sportsman, I sit very low in that car. You can't. Now you're trying to look up, look down, look up, look down, because you don't want to run the guy over in front of you, but you don't want to get
you-
left either.
Yeah,
so
you don't
it's-
want to have two
yeah.
car lengths between you guys.
Yeah,
you want to
so-
stay tight.
I'm not the biggest fan of the rule. I think the leader is the leader, and they should have that advantage to start the race anywhere in that box.
Yeah,
So,
I agree with you.
and I guess they were saying it's to cut down on like playing games and like brake checking. If the leaders play games, just send them to the rear, give them 1 or 2 shots at it, and then say, okay, you had your chance.
I think there was a lot more carnage
Yeah,
because of the way the starts were
Yeah.
firing
Yeah.
off. Unfortunately, you
a
know,
lot
and
of them
it's-
were called off too. They
Yeah.
said that wasn't a good one. Maybe
Yeah.
if I can do it again, like he was trying to
Yeah, I
teach them
think-
a lesson or something, it just got worse.
I
Yeah.
think the Bomber Bees, I mean, they had restart after restart. I mean, I can't even tell you how many times they restarted.
but it is cool to see that division full. I don't know if you remember 3 or 4 years ago, there was like 2 cars a night in the Bomber
Yeah.
B division, and now they got a full field.
It's
full
almost
field.
like the Bomber A's and Bomber B's have reversed roles
Yeah, and I think I know why, because of
because of the breakout rule.
Yeah.
A lot of guys, we're racing, we want to go as fast as we can.
yeah.
And
I don't think it's so much going as fast as you can, because if it was that, everybody would have a super late model. I think it's more of, if you're running a 24.000, how am I supposed to pass you without running a 23.9?
you can't.
Yeah, takes the racing out of it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, I guess that pretty well wraps up last weekend.
Yep.
Pretty short and sweet. What do we have coming up?
Coming up this coming weekend, I'll be doing double duty. I'll be driving the Bobby Blake number 75 E-Mod. Also be running the number 47 Pro Late model again for Tim Bagnell. Super excited to get the season kicked off in that.
Oh, I'm sure.
Made some changes to it, so we'll see how we pan out. Gonna be on a new tire this year, so haven't had a chance to do any testing on it. So gonna be going into it blind, if you will, but excited to get back in a late model again.
I think we
been a
can
while,
all
yeah.
say we're all excited to
Yeah.
Yeah.
to see you back in it.
Has anybody been able to test on that tire yet, do you know? Or is it only going to be available this coming weekend?
I don't know. I'm sure someone has had a way to get some used tires and try them out. So
Well, it's a new compound, isn't it?
yeah, the supers ran at Speed Weeks as far as I know, but pros
Oh,
did not.
Okay, so
Yeah.
there might be some used sets
Yeah,
out there.
and they
people
ran
have
them. They ran
practiced
them
on.
in Cordeal and stuff. So they've been raced on before.
Okay.
So, yep. Supposedly, from what I'd seen, Bubba Pollard was saying is that the tire has less fall off than the F45 did.
Yeah, that was the last race he ran at New Smyrna, which was the
Speed Weeks, the ASA race.
the ASA
Clyde
race
Hart
for
Memorial,
Speed Weeks.
yeah.
The Clyde Hart Memorial. Yep.
So,
And they seem to have a pretty good race.
yeah.
For the
so-
Clyde Hart, I mean, I didn't really hear anybody complain about the tires.
Yeah, I haven't
for,
seen any
for 'em
complaints
being the first
about
time on the track out there.
it.
So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
always a good thing.
Yeah.
And moving backwards a little bit, can't really remember exactly what we talked about in the last podcast, but in January I did the ARCA pre-race practice
Yes.
with fast track racing. Got to do a couple laps in an ARCA car, get approved to.
I think in the last one we had mentioned that you had something coming up, but I don't think we actually said what.
Yeah, so that's what it was. Got to run some laps in an ARCA car. Didn't get a chance to draft, but had a very good, respectable single car
Yeah, absolutely.
lap time. And so now I'm approved to race in ARCA Menard Series and ARCA East. So
And looking for sponsorships.
yeah, looking
Just
to
saying.
run something somewhere this year, wherever that may be.
That whole group of guys was a really good
Yeah,
group of guys to
yep.
work with. Andy Hillenberg at Fast Track Racing, the crew chiefs, the guys from UNO, the University of Ohio.
Yeah,
All those guys travel down there and they work for free
Yeah.
because it's part of their school program. But everybody that I talked to and everybody I dealt with and working on the cars, great group of guys.
absolutely. Yeah,
Great
and it
group
was a
of
ton of
guys.
fun. Got to hang out with some old Richard Petty driving experience people, and I felt like I was right at home. It was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was weird. I was super nervous before I got into the car, and then was getting in my fire suit. Like, no, I'm used to this. I'm just changing my fire suit to go drive a race car. I've
Yeah.
done this a million times, and got the chance to actually do it at night too, because Andy came up to me and was like, "Hey, you've driven here at night before, right?" And doing a NASCAR racing experience, I've had the chance to do that before, and so he felt comfortable with me going at night, and so it was pretty cool getting to drive
'cause-
Daytona under the lights.
And
We had-
actually, I was
we had-
glad that you did that because, I mean, we were at home and we were trying
Yeah.
to follow along best that we could online. And, you know, the weather and everything was so iffy.
It
Yeah.
rained all
And
day.
we knew what you had that day at that point. So it was
Yeah.
like, you know what, it'd be really good if they would just let him drive tonight. And
Yeah.
they did. So
Yeah.
we were really glad about that.
Yep. So, and it made for some really cool photos.
Yeah. And
Got
yeah,
it.
thank you, Mark, for the videos and the pictures that you sent.
Yeah. David said, "Mark, I'm going to be chewing my fingernails
Yeah.
off, basically.
Yeah.
Can you make sure you take plenty of pictures?" I said, "No problem. I got you covered."
Yeah, I guess we didn't mention my dad's not here. You haven't figured that out yet.
I'm in the lawn guy chair
Yeah,
tonight.
so Mark's my dad tonight.
Yeah, so David's in Talladega for NASCAR racing experience. So,
So I'm riding solo tonight, or this coming weekend.
yeah,
Wouldn't say solo, but
plenty of
dadless.
plenty of support. Put it that way.
Bunch of uncles.
Yeah, a bunch of uncles. Yeah,
Uncles.
yeah, yep. On vacation with my uncles.
Yeah.
We'll have fun.
Yeah.
We'll have fun.
Yes,
we have
I'm
fun.
sure
when,
we
we
will,
have
yeah.
fun when David's there too, but it's a little less stressful sometimes. You might have to
At least
edit
you said
that
it,
out
not
for
me.
him.
Yeah.
No, he's gotten a lot better. He's
He
gotten a
has.
lot better from Speed Weeks a couple years ago. He's definitely come around.
What
for
was
sure.
it you said the other night at the track, Rick? You was afraid the long guy might come out.
He said he'd bring the long guy out. I said, I didn't know he had that kind of redneck in him. He might be related to us somehow from
Yeah.
up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, he went 0 to 60 real quick.
Yeah.
But he got it sorted out.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's good. Nobody got in trouble.
Yeah. Not yet.
Not yet. It's all right.
We got in Facebook trouble.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Facebook doesn't
Okay.
count.
Okay. Facebook trouble.
Facebook doesn't count.
As long as you don't end up in jail on Facebook, you're all right.
Yeah. Yeah. What else is there to talk about?
What else we got here?
Well, I have a question. So, the Pro Late race,
Mhm.
it's one of 6, correct?
Correct.
Is the goal to run all 6 Pro Late races this season?
That is the goal. Run all 6.
So, are you going to just try to feel the Pro Late out, or are you going to try to run the Pro Late in contention for points, or have you decided yet?
I was gonna try to run for points. That's the plan.
Okay.
We're gonna be going in as having a pretty good shot at being Rookie of the Year, but there's nothing wrong with the points championship. So
No. You got some.
there is some heavy hitters.
Tough competition in there.
absolutely, yeah. But I think we get some things worked out. We've never really had a car that we couldn't figure out. So
No.
I
Now,
think
what about the E-Mod?
just take it race by race with the E-Mod. Kind of, I know Bobby's got a very busy schedule also with his
Yeah, he
daughter
does.
horse racing. So
She done great this weekend with all
she
this
did,
pic-
yeah. She won, and then Bobby showed up in a green shirt, and I wrecked.
Yeah.
She brought more hardware than he did this
So
weekend.
yeah,
And that was only 1 horsepower.
yeah.
So your dad had alluded to something on Facebook.
Yeah, my
What's
dad's
the news?
my dad's getting back in the saddle. He's got some friends in the truck series that he wants to race with, so he's getting in my truck. We're gonna be fixing what I tore up on it. He's gonna get in it and try to not do what I did.
Very nice. So I know he's been itching to get at
Yeah.
the wheel of that thing.
Yeah.
So I'm just a little curious. Not that he's a big guy or anything, but you gonna have to change the seat or anything out
The
of that thing?
seat's not the problem. Actually, the seat, that's kind of why he doesn't like driving Biscuit, is because it has a very tight seat in it. The seat's a lot wider in the truck.
Oh, okay.
It's height-wise, that's the problem.
It's the leg room.
Okay.
I'm a very short person, and he's not quite as short as me, and so he's going to be a little tight in there, but he says he don't care.
He'll get over
He'll
it.
be all right.
Yeah.
He gets to race again. He'll be fine.
Yeah, he'll be all right.
Once he actually gets in, he'll forget
Yeah.
about everything else.
Mhm.
Well, very cool.
Yeah.
Looking forward to seeing how that works out.
Yeah, and then at the races he doesn't run, I think we have our other driver picked out. So,
Uh-oh. Who's that?
it's your daughter.
Oh. What do you think, Jordan?
To be determined.
To be determined.
Yeah.
That wasn't a no. That
Yeah,
wasn't
it
a no.
wasn't a no. It was not a no.
She's
So
got,
you're
she's-
saying there's a chance?
Yeah. Yeah, it seems I drive better driving other people's cars. When I try to drive my own car, I don't do very good. So
she's
so
got the
far-
lead foot for it.
so far I'm
She's
one.
got the lead foot
She
for it.
does, yeah. So far I'm 1 for 1 as a car owner. So we'll see if I can keep that up.
Yeah, y'all just went
Go
and put that new body and everything on the truck and stuff like that too.
Yeah.
So that truck's ready to go.
Ready to go.
Yeah, get back on set.
It is still for sale though, if someone does. So that's the plan. Continue to race it in case someone
Until you sell it.
Until we sell it. Yeah.
It sells better at the track than it does in the shop,
Absolutely.
for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's the plan. Keep it out there. Keep racing it. And
And it is a good piece.
it is a very
Oh, it's
good
a very
piece.
good
Yeah,
piece,
I
yeah.
It is.
don't know how to drive it evidently. But yeah.
All right.
Any plans for travel?
Travel, travel as in
As in Auburndale, Citrus, Cordele, Pensacola.
the problem with that is, except for Cordele and Pensacola, all those tracks are in American Racers, and we'd be having to buy 2 sets of tires because I don't have any tires to practice on. So there's that. There's travel costs. There's me and my dad are very busy with work.
True.
But speaking of which, I do get to travel with work a lot and drive some really cool tracks. So
Yeah.
still traveling, if you will, just not quite to these other tracks. But definitely like the chance to go drive some other tracks, though. I don't know if Slick Rick wants to get out and run a couple short
never
track
know.
races. Yeah, we'll see.
Get her dialed in at New
Yeah,
Smyrna.
we're
then
gonna
we
get it right. Yeah, get it right
We used to
first.
go someplace else and
Yeah,
What tires do they run at the Freedom Factory? Because I know they run pretty
American
good
Racers.
sportsman shows at the Freedom
as
Factory.
far as I know, American Racers, sportsman and truck shows. I get the truck out there too.
So is that something that they've always ran, the American Racers, or did they switch this year?
Well, the Freedom Factory basically just
Just started
recently
running ovals
opened
again.
up to running
Right.
Yeah,
cars because that's owned by Cletus McFarland.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of it was his shows. They were doing what, like Crown Vic stuff.
Yeah,
and
like
Rangers
kind of like
and-
demo derby
yeah.
kind of stuff, like Tour Destruction and stuff like that. And within the past year, they started running.
Yeah,
some-
the first race they ran there was a sportsman race,
Yeah,
wasn't it?
yeah.
And they had a huge turnout. I think they had over 40 cars show
Yeah.
up.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a big turnout.
Mm-hmm.
But DeSoto used to be a really good speedway. I mean, a lot of people used to race it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I've also heard that they were looking for somebody to open Bronson back
Yep,
up,
they're looking to clean up out there and maybe get that running in the next
which would be awesome. I mean, it's
Orlando Speed World. Also, they had a little online
yeah, they had a
meeting
little
talking
get together.
about trying to do something. I don't know if anything really kicked off from it yet. I haven't really seen much, but there's people trying to get these tracks back. And
Yeah, and it would be nice to have
Yeah.
options to,
Yeah.
you know, that are closer to home. I mean,
Orlando's
obviously
Orlando's not bad.
Cordele and Pensacola are a hike, but
Yeah.
Orlando and Bronson aren't that far away.
Right.
But it would be nice to be able to try something closer to home as far as a different track.
Yeah,
Depends on what classes they run there, I guess.
yeah.
Okay. Well, Rick, do you have anything that you want to add?
yeah, I want to give a shout out to my buddies at the West Volusia Moose Lodge.
Yeah.
Moose Riders had a big ride a couple weeks ago for a group called Josh. It's Just Our Soldiers Helpers is where they come up with the name. And they went on this benefit run. I guess it was a poker run. And they raised over $13,000 for this organization in one event.
Oh wow.
And people always asking what the Moose is about and stuff like that. I posted a picture on the fan page. That's just outstanding.
Yes, it is.
That is.
And I don't know how many motorcycles they have, but Doug Ward, the guy that runs the Moose Riders out there, does an outstanding job at that. And to raise $13,000 for a veterans organization in one day, you can't beat it.
Yeah, that's awesome. Great cause.
Yeah. And they're back on the car again this year as a sponsor. They don't do a whole lot. Appreciate what they do. They're already planning an event to come back out and have a tailgate party and do all that again this year.
Oh, that would be cool. Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
a good time the last time they did it. Hey, and
About
any,
tipped our trailer over.
It's me on top.
any help is good help.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
yeah.
Any
and-
help is
and
good help.
People like that, I'm proud to carry their name
Oh,
on a
yeah.
race car. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
not
we-
just for sponsorship,
Yeah.
but for what they
Yeah,
represent,
for
and
promoting what they do. I mean,
for
you
the
can-
community
yeah,
and
exactly.
everything
You know, get
else.
behind it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, well, on another note, Randy over there has been working hard, and we have a website now, DylanLebeau.com, so be sure to go check that out. I know everything's not
Yeah, not
just
quite
right,
there
just
yet.
just perfect yet, so if you have any,
We are working on merchandise.
yes, and it will be on the website soon.
Yes.
Hats,
And we do
Hats,
have
hats, shirts,
and we
anything
do have
else.
some of the shirts that we had for the Pro Late still left over. So I'll go ahead and I think we have a list of inventory. May have to update it just to make sure, but we'll get that out there on the fans page too. So
Can we bring those to the track this weekend in case anybody's there that wants to buy one?
I absolutely think we can. So yeah, if anybody's interested, stop by the trailer.
That would be great. And
Yeah.
you've got, I saw some.
Yeah, there's
There's
some
something in the
RHR.
works. Something in the works.
A little R&D going on.
I like the hat. The
No,
hat
the
was
hat-
pretty sporty.
Got a couple of different t-shirt designs we're working on, but the hats are staying.
I like the
them.
hat. I like the red and the black with the white
Yeah.
stitching.
Yeah.
It was sharp looking.
So you're talking about the RHR,
Yeah.
Rick Harris Racing.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yeah, the apparel that you guys had on the other night looked good.
Yeah.
It was sharp.
found a few places just trying out this and that and another to see. Hopefully we'll have something picked out here in the next week or so, and maybe for the April 27th. That's the thing I forgot to bring up too. There's a group over where I live at La Costa Village. It's been aggravating me. When y'all run, I'd like to come see your race car and all my golfers. So we're going to have a La Costa Village night out there. Everybody thought, man, you gonna do all that work to do that? I said, ain't no work to it. Show up, pay $5, come in there and watch us race.
There you
Yeah,
go.
they thought it was a big planned event or something.
Well, now you done showed your hand. You should have been like,
no.
yeah, man.
No,
I'm
I don't
working."
want them calling it aggravating me. So.
Yeah.
But there's already 40-some people committed to come out there.
Oh, wow.
Great.
And hopefully the weekend before that, there's no NRE, there's no New Smyrna or something like that. So maybe we could get a couple of the cars out, make a trip to the lodge to show it off, bring it down to La Costa Village and show it off. These people were excited. Some of them was out there this weekend. But a lot of them have been saying, why are you doing that? I said, I'm looking here in your driveway and you've got a Jeep. I look in your driveway and you've got a Corvette. And I look in your driveway and you got 2 Harleys. I said, this is my. I said, I don't like motorcycles. I don't need a Corvette. I can't get in a Jeep. If I do, I fall out of it.
So where,
This is my midlife crisis right here, buddy. Just enjoy it.
so where are you gonna get behind the wheel?
Well, there was a discussion about that this weekend when it was running so bad. Mark got offered. David got offered. Poor me and Jordan just sit there. I was almost in tears.
To be fair,
we didn't get offered.
it's not my offer to give. You're the car owner.
Yeah, but I probably wouldn't be able to get in and out of it.
We can-
We'd
we
have to
make
do
you
it like
fit.
the old NASCAR. We have to cut that big hole in the top of it,
Yeah.
so I can stand up the way Michael Walter did that time and come out the roof hat. I have no desire to drive. Those days have passed. I just enjoy being around it.
Not even a parade lap, nothing?
Oh yeah, I wouldn't mind doing. Maybe we're going to test and go out there. I remember the first time I done the NASCAR racing experience. It was still Richard Petty. I done it out in Las Vegas. Went out there, run 5 laps or something like that. Yeah, I said, "What'd you think?" He said, "Man, I'd paid you $200 to just start this thing up and play with the gas pedal. I don't want to care if I move or not." That was just the thrill of it right there.
Yep.
There you go.
I mean, we're running this car on a quarter or a third of the budget of what the rest of these
Yeah.
people are.
Yeah.
Up until this weekend, it was kind of frustrating. Me and Dylan's got a new nickname for the car, and it's not Beefy, but we're not going to put it out there. But this
Yeah.
weekend, I actually think we made a turn around the corner,
Absolutely, yeah.
heading in
You
the
did.
right direction.
Yeah. You got rid of some of the gremlins that have been haunting you.
We knew
Yeah.
we was going to have them because it's an older car,
Yeah.
just like us older people. Some things don't work as good as they used to, so you have to do a little work on them.
Yeah.
And if you think about it, we haven't run that much with it.
No.
5 races maybe or 6, and some of them we didn't run 5 to 10 laps.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Honestly, the best race we've ran with it so far has been the first race.
yeah,
When it was all bent up, out of whack.
yeah.
That's because nobody would get near you.
Yeah, they're probably scared of it.
Tetanus shot.
You
Yeah.
needed a tetanus shot to work
Yeah.
on
But
it.
she looks good now.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
it looks
better.
sporty
But
now.
I think that's kind of what screwed us up was a little bit. We had the car running good with little to no downforce, with holes in the nose and everything, and now we got this thing aerodynamic, and now the car doesn't know what to do. Car and driver don't know what
So
to
are
do.
we going to change the nickname now?
No.
No.
Not yet.
No.
gotta earn
If
it.
things get bad up there on the windshield, there's room for
There's
4 letters.
For 4 letters.
For
Or
4
is
letters.
the hashtag going with it though?
We'll see. We'll
is it-
see.
or is it
If
just
there's
gonna-
room,
Is
yeah.
it just going to be T-Pos?
It'd probably have to be a hashtag on that one, which is, that's younger people stuff. I don't understand all that, but it looks good.
I don't know either.
But
It
if
looks
we
good
can
on-
make progress the way we did this weekend, a little bit every week. Like I said, we had a top 5 car, got out of there with very minor damage. So,
Get to do some welding by the fuel cell. That's a fun place to do it.
yeah, but we got Sensei to take care of that. So.
Yeah.
Got the professional.
Yep.
Well, and I have to say though, Dylan, even though I know you were frustrated out there and they were hooking you up to the wrecker and everything, but you know when you hollered over to me, because I was standing over there by the pit wall, and you said, "Tell Dad to put a wheel on it," and you know, so I went back and told him, and that's exactly what happened, and you got out. And in short, you didn't give up.
Yeah.
I mean, it would have been very easy to do.
Yeah.
But you didn't. You got the car back out there, finished the race, and so yeah, my hat's off to you.
I wish I'd had a video camera. When somebody come running with them cowboy boots on across that parking lot, I said, please don't fall, please don't fall, please don't fall. She was doing 100 mile an hour across through there.
Yeah.
But that's the one thing, we had one bad night a couple weeks, probably over a month or so ago now, and everybody's attitude was just, I guess, to the boiling point.
Yeah.
We went through all this, basically the same stuff this weekend. We still joking, laughing,
Yep.
stayed our focus, worked on what we needed to. If it worked, fine. If it didn't, we tried something else.
Right.
But about a month or so ago, I don't know if we had a come to Jesus meeting or what, but everybody blew up on the same
Yeah.
damn night.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
And I think a lot of that was the preseason building up to it.
oh yeah.
We all had an expectation, and we were so far from the expectation. I think that kind of,
Yeah.
like you said, pushed us over the point. And
It deflated quickly.
yeah,
and then
it,
just-
it was
went
bad
from
because there was multiple people all having a bad
Yeah,
time.
everybody had
so-
a bad day at the same time.
Yeah, it wasn't.
But since then, everything's been positive. Everything we've tried has either not worked or worked. This weekend we found something that worked. If we can keep on that trail,
Yeah,
we'll be in
keep
good
building
grace.
on that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The positive thing from that whole thing is like you said, you didn't go a lap down. Well, you did, but then you got it back from the caution. But if you're trying to points race, it worked in your favor because now you finish on the lead lap.
Yep.
You get the points. You didn't get a DNF, so you know, just that war of attrition and the drive to keep going, you know, and good call on your part for realizing that hey, it's not as broke as it looks.
Yeah, I hopped out of the car initially. Well, I was going to try to fire it up and drive it. We were wedged together pretty good and would have tore up more trying to drive off them, I think.
You probably would have tore
Tore the nose off.
if
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
tire
Pretty-
would
pretty
have come
sweet-
apart.
yeah, pretty
'Cause you'd
sweet
have had to
nose
go
on it now, so.
all the way around the track.
Yeah.
Basically, you were on the front stretch.
Yeah, so got out of the car and like I said, I looked at it. I seen full lock to the right. I'm like, we're done. I signaled to Bobby that we're done, so I think he went and told, he's done. So couldn't really see nothing until he got it up in the air and was able to turn her.
And it was nice that it was on the hook when it came in because
Yes.
it made it easy to
Easy to
change the tire. We
yeah.
didn't have to jack it up, and it gave me time to look at the suspension and make sure nothing was broke. You know, we had a brake failure starting to happen after
Yeah,
that. But
yeah. Ripped the.
I was less worried about brakes and more worried about the wheel coming off when you went to back out
Yeah.
there. So
Yeah, you really didn't know about the brakes until later.
Well, I knew the pedal was getting soft, and we found the cause of that. Yeah.
we're gonna make the pedal soft every week now because it makes it go faster.
Yeah,
Yeah, whether he wants to or not.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
And thanks to Jay for helping get
Yes,
us through the first
yes.
2 spins.
yeah.
We was so close. And somebody was telling me, said, I'm glad you didn't see that one over in turn 2. Said you'd have went through half a pack of cigarettes. Because I was down on the ground. I didn't see the second one over. I saw
Yeah.
the first one on the front, but I didn't see the second one.
I know
No.
Mark wouldn't have said something like that.
Yeah,
No, that was very fortunate because you were tucked up underneath George Alexander.
Yeah.
You probably just about had his rear tires off the ground.
it was.
And
Yeah,
the
there's a little
51
scratch. There's a little scratch. He did a great job staying off of me too.
And the 51 was tucked up tight
Yeah.
underneath you, and then I don't know if he tried to turn the wheel or
Yeah.
hit the brakes, but then he ended up spinning down into the grass. But it was almost a repeat of what happened on the front stretch, only it was coming off of turn 2. And
Yeah.
I didn't see what happened to cause George Alexander to check up. I just saw
Yeah.
him check up, and then you
Yeah,
up
'cause
underneath
it
him.
was
in
on a
that
restart.
51.
We were all right on top of each other.
Yeah, I don't know what happened in front of that. I didn't watch the video or anything
Yeah.
to see what happened in front of that to cause that chain reaction, but it was very fortunate because it could have been, you know, Mr. Alexander's car, your car, the 51. All of you guys were just.
Yeah, I got on the radio and said Bodine owes me one for not driving underneath the car.
Oh, you were underneath it.
I seen his fuel cell. Yeah. It's a shame I didn't have an angle finder and took some measurements, but
He's been running really well.
really well. Yeah.
George Alexander has definitely, you know, he keeps getting better and better. He's super nice people too. Super nice people. But yeah, I'm glad that you guys made it through that
Yeah.
one okay.
Yeah. Well, all in all, I think it was a very good weekend.
Yeah, it could have been worse. It
And
could
we
been a
have
whole lot
something to look
worse.
forward to.
Yep.
And we've got this weekend to look forward to. Like you said, you're doing double duty, so.
Double time. Yeah, big
Yeah.
money this weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, on new tires.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Easy on my car owner now, man.
No, he
Oh, not this
Oh,
week.
not
Not
this
this week. We're
car.
gonna spend some money this
Yeah.
week. It's not mine.
is Tim gonna be there? Do you know?
I do not know. I'd assume so.
Well, with that, yeah, so everybody, like we were saying earlier, don't forget to check out DylanLebeau.com. We've got YouTube links, Instagram links, everything is right there. We will have merchandise and everything. So with that, you want to finish this out like your dad typically does?
I can race them hard, race them clean.
There you go.
I'm gonna grab the checkered flag mark. I'm getting the signal.
Getting the
I
signal
didn't.
It's been a while,
for,
so
for the checkered flag.
Checkered flag.
We're all
Yeah.
done.
Yep.
So-
That's for your wheel. Your wheel's done.
And real quick before we go, I have to say, so for our very first podcast, you were with us,
Yes.
and so the very first podcast for this season, you're back with us again. So thanks for being here, and
I
you too,
appreciate
Rick.
it.
Thank you, thank both of you.
Yes,
Glad I could make it off the golf course.
All right, well, everybody, thank you all.
Loki dog.